Welcome to the San Antonio FC Fancast. I'm Rose Royce, and it's been a while. We're trying to get back on the saddle. I'm joined by the what are we going with the power trio? I'm joined by Harry. Harry, how are you? It's been a while.
Dealing with some allergies.
Yeah, same.
Just kicking my butt. But yeah, we're dusting off the fan cast here. I know we've slowed down even on the high school soccer podcast. We got the bracketology out, and since then it's gone quiet. Just life's been busy, kids, seniors. It's just all over the place as far as my time, as well as work and family, and just
Yeah,
yay.
yeah. You have two seniors, and you've been your son's ride to every single soccer game known to man that he's trying to go and participate in, which I guess is good. My kid is
Not
playing
only
baseball and my kid's playing baseball and soccer this season, so we're also
so
stupid busy. It's been great.
AJ's not only playing soccer, but he's
Hmm.
taking photography of soccer.
Oh wow.
So he's hooking up the middle school games. I think he's charging $15, or it was 10. Now he's gone to $15 because he's kind of refined it. So gotta love the
Okay.
hustle. But and it's money that he invested himself into his camera. So
All right.
yeah. So okay.
Fair enough. Okay. I mean, he's on the hustle. He's on the grind. We also have Rafa. Welcome back, Rafa. How are you?
Good. Did he had to increase inflation prices for the?
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, 15's cheap, man. That's you can't get a gallon of gas for $15 anymore.
Yeah, just been
Uh,
busy with the high school stuff. I guess me and Harry with the bracketology with Coach Cano and Steve, and then last night did a episode for Inside Texas High School Soccer for our regional final recap. Just going over some games, key games, and we got some San Antonio area teams still alive. So good luck to them. I was at me and Matt were at the Lee game power outage there at
Oh
Ferris.
wow.
It went down twice. Uh, we were getting drunk in the capitals. Oh yeah, so happy birthday to Mijo.
Yeah,
So
happy birthday, mijo.
like
yeah,
Matt needs a reason to get drunk.
Yeah, no kidding.
yeah.
7 o'clock.
You know what this
7:30.
do you know what this kid told me that he mixed and tried and is trying to convince me to drink. So I told him whenever we had the Jägermeister Cup last year, RIP Jägermeister Cup. Um, I told him to mix root beer and Jägermeister. It's a good mix. You can trust me that's a good drink. He's trying to convince me that mixing Jägermeister and milk is a good drink. I don't believe him. I don't believe him. So no, no, thank you, Matthew. Well, let's move on from the intros and let's get into kind of reviewing the games that we've unfortunately missed so far. The first one, opening night. Hopefully everybody was there. It's a pretty good crowd, despite.
Oh, he wants to clarify. It's
Oh, okay.
chocolate milk.
Oh, sure. Well, no. So milk plus Jägermeister supposedly tastes like chocolate milk. Don't believe it.
Oh,
I don't believe it. No thanks, Matthew. I'm not falling for that one. Anyway, let's review the games. Opening day against Phoenix, which was a pretty exciting one. Um, I believe that was the bad weather game, correct? Yeah, and we're kind
Yeah,
of expecting a light crowd. The crowd wasn't as heavy as a normal opening day, but it was still a pretty solid crowd, to be fair.
they
And we
announced
had some
5,500. Yeah,
5,500 is pretty darn good for heavy
Six,
weather coming through.
65.
65, that's even better. Wow, that's crazy. So I think that's a pretty good turnout. As the gameplay went, San Antonio kind of dominated Phoenix in this one. To be fair, we got two goals, a goal early from Jorge in the first half. It was 1-0 at the half, and then a quick second goal to start the second half.
Alex Cornelli.
through Cronali. Yep. Pirano ended up getting the assist on both of them. The first one was a long ball that was held up by Patino really well, and then he found Christian Pirano on the right. He crossed it over to Jorge, who found some space and slotted it in. The second goal was kind of a surprising run from Alex Cronali coming from the back, which I kind of like to see. He just had a head of steam. He found Pirano, who found him for a 1-2, and then he just drilled a seed into the side netting on the left side of the goal to go up 2-0. Phoenix pulled one back later on kind of an unfortunate play. Akeem Ward slid in to try to clear the ball, ended up playing it off of his hand, and Phoenix slotted home. I think it was Sacco that scored the penalty. Slotted in, and it was 2-1.
Scursey, number 17.
Okay, I think I don't know. I think they said Sacco.
Sacco may, well, according to the USL website, they have it as John Scursey is the one who scored it, according to the USL website.
Okay, then let's go with that. So that's how the game ended, 2-1. A good 3 points. SAFC still remains with a very nice undefeated record on opening nights as a franchise. So that's pretty cool. Rafa, Harry, do you guys have anything additional on that match?
So my surprise, too, was Joey Petroni getting the start. I think that was the big story because, and I'm happy about it, don't get me wrong. I thought Richard Sanchez was going to be the starter based on the preseason. But Joey Petroni has won and has played every minute of the regular season for that here, so I'm excited. And also Dmitry, who was it? I can never say his name.
Arofiev, yep.
Arofiev. Dude, he looks like a Russian mobster now, dude. He's grown up. He's thick.
He's filled out. He is filled out.
He can play.
He's been hanging out in Marble.
Wow.
So, but to me, like I said here, it's those are the two big surprises I think going into the match. And the team, and we'll kind of get to it a little bit later, but as far as kind of a summary, but that was my biggest surprise was Joey getting the start and the improvement from Dimitri.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with you on that one. And I think we kind of found out later on why Dimitri is starting kind of in that double pivot next to the double pivot midfield, kind of as the additional 6/8 next to Mikey Maldonado. Why am I going Martinez? My goodness, it's early. Next to Mikey Maldonado. Shout out Mikey Maldonado for coming back. Birds up. But we got word that Landry Walker is training with the SV Darmstadt in Germany. So that's really exciting news. That's the first in the partnership with SAFC, well, Spurs Sports Entertainment, and SV Darmstadt that we have a player training over there. And the last time we had a player training in Germany was Jose Gallegos, who got some training time with Bayern Munich and ended up later that summer getting a transfer over to Sunnysjyske, the top level Danish club in the Danish Superliga, who got relegated. But he also helped win promotion back to the Superliga. So pretty cool little story there, and we'll see if Landry follows in his footsteps, given that Jose, I believe, was 21 at that time, and Landry is 16. So a little bit of a difference in age there, but we'll see what comes from that training. Rafi, you have any notes on that?
No, just as far as going back to Joey, that was a little surprise, but I thought maybe he was a year away, I think, from the process, but I guess the coaches saw something over the preseason games that help him win the job, and so far so good. And
there's no difference between him and Sanchez. So
yeah, well, yeah, Well, he
Uh,
proved it. He proved it the last game with that save. So, and I'll get into the details of that. So,
yeah, we'll cover that. And I will say, to Richard Sanchez's credit, he is being a mentor to Joey, which is very important. You have that veteran presence, which is really good for Joey in this moment. The one thing that Sanchez, despite his struggles in it, I think most keepers, to be fair, that aren't Manuel Neuer, have struggles with distribution. Sanchez is still much more polished in distribution than Joey. Joey's had a few well, they're howlers. They just haven't turned into goals yet. Knock on wood. And that's something he needs to button up. But at the same rate, Joey's very young. He's really played him. He's played himself into the position. It's very obvious. And this is the thing that we always say on the show is we don't get to see training. We don't really see those battles happening. We see what happens on the field during the games. We don't see the battles in training, and it's pretty obvious that Joey won the battle in training for the preseason. So, very exciting times, especially for San Antonio homegrowns. Again, shout out Mikey Maldonado, homegrown, is killing it. So let's move on. Next game that was played was it was a Tulsa match. Yep, San Antonio in Tulsa. Tulsa dominated. So here's the thing that happened in that match. Tulsa dominated the possession. They looked a more dangerous team, but that's kind of what San Antonio wanted to do. Tulsa really highly depends on their counter attack. That's where they're very dangerous, is on the counter. So to counter that, San Antonio was just like, hey, here's the ball. We'll sit back. You guys come at us. And they kind of weathered the storm. Joey had a real tough moment of distribution. Gave it right to a Tulsa player just outside the box, but made a spectacular save to keep it scoreless. And that was kind of the story of the game there. I think Patino had one very dangerous chance, dragged it wide. And that was it really for SAFC. They just kind of weathered the storm, got the point. And hey, to be fair, you're never mad at getting a point away to the team that's fresh off of a conference win. So I think that was a really good point in that match. And I think kind of SAFC had a mission. They accomplished it. They moved on, lived to fight another day. Harry, how do you feel about that match?
According to the show notes from Jonathan Check, and thank you, Jonathan. I know, I thought you, like Rafa, need the beauty sleep, but Rafa woke up. He's got enough beauty sleep saved for him. But SAFC snapped a 4-match losing streak away to Tulsa, so that was the positive. But yeah, the only note that he really had is Coelho for Blanco is the only change in the starting lineup, which I think you're going to find out. The starting lineup hasn't seen a lot of changes per se. And then Batroni had a couple of issues. However, he was made into the team of the week as well, I believe, that week as well. So it is that.
Yeah, he also, if I remember correctly, he also had a distribution where he tried to pass it to the right to Alex Cronali and ended up passing it directly out of bounds for a corner. So he had a tough one in that game, but yeah, exactly. So Rafa, your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, it's always a tough environment to go in there to Tulsa. Like, so we've had much success there, but to get some points out, especially from the Western Conference champs, it's good because, like I said, it's when we have those tiebreakers at the end. Like I said, that game over there doesn't affect us, and as long as we can get the win here at home when they come over here, that's all that matters. And like I said, you're kind of staying on point to stay on top into the top 3 and so forth. So it's good result. Not the best result, but hey, it's a good result because you were able to steal points from them.
And that's why he's professional, folks, because easy transition to say we will see Tulsa twice at home this season because in the next match we won in the U.S. Open Cup first round 6-0 to, I am blanking on the team. My goodness.
ASC New Stars.
ASC New Stars, thank you. Good Lord, from Houston. San Antonio dispatched them 6-0. They put up a decent fight for the most part of the first half, and the floodgates just kind of opened on him. And then the depth kind of took over for SAFC, and they really dominated on that one. So moved on. SAFC will play in round 2 of the U.S. Open Cup, Tulsa on April 1st here at home. So we'll see. We'll see how many people we can get out there, and we'll see the difference in the gameplay in that one with SAC being home instead of away at Tulsa.
My biggest takeaway from that game was,
Hmm.
and Jonathan Check verified this, was no academy players were even on the bench that
Yeah.
played the game.
Yep.
Historically, especially early rounds, SAFC plays a lot of uh, academy kids, so I was completely shocked at the veteran lineup that
Yep. Richard.
SAFC came and they, they showed the talent early on and throughout the match.
Yep. Richard Sanchez got the start and goal. Had to save penalty. Well, it wasn't the best penalty, but at the same rate, you don't always save a penalty, so that's still big
But he
news.
also caused the penalty too.
Hey! We're glossing over that, huh? I'm trying to give Sanchez some credit there for the recovery. And then breaking news: 25-day contracts are back. We have forward EJ Johnson on a 25-day contract, and he decided just to go in and score on his club debut. So good on EJ. More on him in the next match as well. The next match, which was the last match, was against New Mexico United. Harry, you have anything on New Mexico United?
Yeah, the first time that we have beat New Mexico United in 6 matches,
Yep.
including last year where I think we lost all 4, including in the playoffs. Uh, I thought
Yeah,
the
I think
score,
so,
even
huh?
though it ended up only 1-0, I thought SAFC dominated the match.
Yeah. If it wasn't for the starting goalkeeper for New
Shakes,
Mexico, Shakes,
Chris
I
Shakes, yeah.
believe, yeah, Chris Shakes with a K, Chris with a K. I believe that would have been a 3-0 match pretty easily. He had some pretty spectacular saves there, but SAFC really dominated this match. One thing I will say, well, a couple things to pick up on in this match. EJ Johnson got his first minutes for the club. We'll see if that turns permanent. He was very aggressive in that second half, getting a yellow card and really putting his mark on the game, really to get in the heads of New Mexico so they couldn't organize anything going forward. And this is the first match that I've noticed that SAFC at Toyota Field has watered the grass at halftime and completely doused our seats. So that was great. That's something to look out for today, Harry, when you're at the game. Is be
They've done it
careful of the
before, but
sprinkler.
yeah, especially in the springtime when they're trying to transition to
Okay.
gas, so
Right. Right.
it doesn't
Yep. So
happen
watch out for
often.
that.
But
Yep.
Chris
But
Shakes had 8 saves overall, six in the first half. So,
yep. That checks
Rafa,
out.
your thoughts on the New Mexico match?
Yeah, you can tell that we had a good pepper step, especially that sour taste we had on that loss to them from the playoffs. We just didn't play well. So I think this is a game where they were very determined. We dominated them. Even though New Mexico got some shots off, and especially that save that Joey made to kind of keep things even before we got our goal in. And but as far as, like I said, our what I'm starting to notice is our midfield starting to click now. It's starting to really gel. It's starting to dominate, and that's what we lacked last year. I think you can see the second go around of that experiment with Perano and Hernandez. Now it's starting to work under this system. I don't think it worked on the last system of that because it was more direct. I think because it's possession based. I think they do feed off each other, and you can see Jorge's not being double teamed as much because he's Perano's taking a lot of attention from
You
that.
got two
So
problems. Yeah.
yeah,
You got two big problems up top, not just one. Exactly. Go ahead, Rafa.
and then
Finish your thought,
and
and I'll
the
jump
thing
on.
also with Akeem too, I think he's been a big difference maker too. So it just causes a lot of problems. And then the one I really want to praise is I think the big addition has been Mikey. He's been really, the last, these 2 games, he's really kind of set himself and he sets the tone, especially there in the back. and he's become that enforcer, and he's just everywhere. And we're like I said, great. I think that's probably been one of the best signings we've had, and I think that was kind of the one of the missing pieces that we needed from that we didn't have last year. So this is, like I said, it's a great start.
Been a couple of years.
Yeah. And he's really dominated the game and so forth. And shout out to his parents, because I got to meet his parents on Friday, so they're at the league game. So I invited them to the tailgate, so hopefully they'll come to the game and so forth. So they're excited of him being back too. So they were looking forward for this Sunday's game.
Absolutely, and also shout out to Dmitry Rofiev in the first match that we saw him in Phoenix. To be completely honest, kind of a pylon. In hockey, that's what you call a player that everybody just kind of goes around and kind of ignores and isn't really that effective in defense. His press is coming around a lot more. He's a lot more active, and that double pivot is really showing. Phoenix had a lot of joy going over to their left, our right, and it's because Dimitri, what it looked like is he wasn't comfortable going to the player. He wanted to stay in position more than defend the position. So he was holding up that space, but he was allowing more space. Now it seems like he's more comfortable to kind of attack the space rather than, attack the player instead of just the space. So it looks like he's making better decisions, and so it's a lot more tough to get around, which is good to see. And yeah, you did mention Mikey. The teams had a huge turnaround in midfield. That was the issue last year, was the midfield. And it looks like we've really strengthened that. And you've also mentioned the Pirano and Hernandez connection. It's nasty, and I do agree. In the system we had, where it went over the top, going over the top doesn't really help out those two players. It doesn't help out their play profile at all. What that only has them kind of relegated to do is take up space and press, and that's all they were able to do. They couldn't play make, and now in this system they can play make. So. And they're doing it really well. Pirano has been a revelation since he's been back, and Hernandez has opened up the space for Pirano to operate. And later on this season, spoiler alert, other teams are now going to be like, "Oh, Pirano's the problem," so they're going to go to his side and they're going to key on him. Well, that's going to allow Hernandez to operate, and he should continue to be dangerous. Another big thing I wanted to shout out, and you said Hakeem. A big reason why Hakeem Ward is effective is because the back line has been incredible for SAFC. Mitch Tainer is at center back, which the last, 6 seasons we've had Mitch, he's been the left side center back. And now he's in the center, which allows Barbier, who is a veteran in the league. He has over 100 starts in the league. Shout out to him for getting his first goal. He had the game winner against New Mexico. He's been great on the left. Alex Rinaldi's been great on the right. What New Mexico keyed on in this setup that I noticed that I thought was very interesting, and they did it they had a bunch of success doing it, is that Mitchell Tainer obviously is left-footed. So he likes to go to his left in order to distribute, and he has those big switch balls, the big diagonals to switch the side of play to Hakeem Ward, so he'll go to his left and kick. Well, what New Mexico did was they had their forward come up in the press whenever Mitch had the ball, and they'd start from Mitch's left to right, so they'd go from New Mexico's right to left to force Mitch to try to distribute with his right foot, and there were 2 or 3 times where he kicked it directly to a New Mexico player in the midfield because New Mexico's kind of queuing on that. So I want to see that's my kind of thing to look out for other teams tactically. If they decide to do the same thing, to try to press Mitch from Mitch's left to right, to force him on his right, to try to distribute with his right instead of his very cultured left foot. So that's something to look out for, and something I definitely noticed in that match that they were doing. So, but that also kind of leaves, Barbier to distribute, who's very capable of doing it. And also, as we've seen, he has a goal in the season. Alex Crinaldi is also very capable of switching play and having a good pass. So, pick your poison on that one, opposing team. But that's just something I noticed New Mexico was doing, and they did it to some good effect. And shout out to Chris Shakes as well. Some very fun banter behind the net. It was really good sport about the whole thing, and he made some incredible saves. And also, again, Joey Petroni for that point blank save on the header, um, going to his right, was also pretty game changing. So, and that was an incredible save as well. So, Harry, you have anything else?
I do have a question for you guys.
Okay.
We've had three matches.
Mm-hmm.
Patino has yet to score.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a concern, especially how he can be kind of sensitive with through here? Because that's the one weakness that I've seen so far early is the lack of scoring, and not counting the ASC Stars game here, but just the league
Sure.
games here. Just the lack of scoring from from forwards, and especially Patino in the middle.
Rafa, you want to take that over?
I think with him, it's gonna it takes some time being a forward because I've played that position. You have to start getting in the groove. I think he hasn't hit his groove yet, but he's had up. I think all you can create opportunities, and then sooner or later things will fall. One thing he's been kind of being the muscle up front, kind of wearing defenses out, and then that allows our midfielders to really kind of take over there, utilize the speed. Yeah.
Toronto, yeah.
So and you can tell if you watch some of the games, he's being sometimes he's double teamed too because they're afraid that he'll muscle off those guys and take shots. And like I said, I think he's due a couple goals. I think he'll have a breakout, and could be hopefully maybe it's today. But he does still have the attention. I think they still have the respect for him, that little fear. And like I said, it's just opening up the game for everybody else, which you kind of want to. So, and also you don't want to depend on one person scoring all the goals. You want to kind of have a good equal distribution because then you can't mark on anybody. So, but I think in due time, plus, like I said, we're missing a couple other forwards too that are hurt too. So when they come back, like I said, everyone's going to be. And then what you also want is everything kind of balanced out, even out. You don't need to have someone on it. You know, if he honestly scores 10 goals in the season, that's successful there. I think that's good enough for us.
Yeah, Rafa. I mean, you've said it, man. We have a trio of forwards that work very well with each other and are very dependent on each other. And Patino, his job is to be the big bruiser. He's there to, number one, hold up play. Number two, take up space and take up the center back's attention to allow Pirano and Hernandez to have that space just in front of the center line in order to operate. And that's kind of what he's been doing. He's, to be fair, the last couple of years, that's been Juan Agadello's thing. And Juan Agadello did, I don't want to say he did a much better job, but that's just his talent. That's his bread and butter. Winning aerial duels and occupying the center backs, and Agudelo was world class at that. That's why he played where he played. He was at a different level, and Patino is kind of doing his version of that, and he's doing it really well too. That's why we've been so successful in this early campaign. Is Patino is not a small part of that. He's been a very vital part. Does he have the shots and the goals? No, but that's not 100% his job. His job, number one, is to allow Hernandez and Pirano to get that space and to do what they need to do. And that was the big thing that we did not have last season. If you remember that we talked about last season, Agudelo would take up the two center backs. He'd do a great job. He'd hold up the ball. He'd work his butt off. But there was nobody there to take the space. Nobody. It was Agudelo taken up, and then there's one midfielder that would completely lock up Hernandez, and that's all we had until we had Paredes, and then Paredes was able to open up some room and really unlock stuff. Well, now Paredes' role kind of got taken over by Pirano, who's much more effective in this league at this level, and now you have three guys you got to worry about, and that's all they've done is create dangerous chances in the first three, I guess technically four matches. Although I don't think they all played in the U.S. Open Cup, so that's kind of been the difference really there. We're more dangerous going forward, which kind of allows the midfield to get a little bit of grace. They're not completely under pressure 100% of the time, and that allows them to be effective, which allows the back line to kind of chill and to be able to make the plays that they've been playing. So, as a unit and as a whole, this team is working really well together, and that's why they're tied for first place right now. So, um, it's been great so far, and hopefully we continue this form going forward, and we continue to grow as a team, and sky's the limit.
So a little bit about Lexington, who we're playing. They played 3 home games, well 4, counting the Open Cup, but they lost to Louisville City 2-1 on opening day. They had a 0-0 draw against Sacramento, which is not a bad result, although at home you probably would have wanted the 3 points, especially how Sacramento's looked so far this year. Not, they're still kind of growing into it. They did beat Flower City Union 9-0, kind of like the ASC for San Antonio. And then they're coming off a 3-0 win against Brooklyn, so this will be their first road test. To me, Lexington won the offseason or drew with Tampa. Philip Goodrum, Epps, former San Antonio,
Malloy.
Firmino, Malloy, Kendall Burks, Oliver Smelly is a proven goalkeeper. So this is a veteran team, and if you go to Bluish Moon or bluishmoonblog.wordpress.com, Jonathan Check put out a good article, and a quote from Coach Lamosa. We're expecting another tough match. It's one of the strongest teams in our conference. They have good players individually. They have quality. They also, and I'm adding, they also have depth. So once again, we have to come to play as a team. And according to Jonathan, he's got Patino to watch because last time Patino was with Lexington was when he was announced at halftime. But so this time he'll actually be on the field for real. And then of course he's got Aaron Malloy, one of the all-league midfielders, and kind of their if you can kind of contain him, because you can't shut him down, but if you can kind of contain him. And then he also mentions keys of the game: don't blink, with both teams combining for 4 goals in the 74th minute or later for that here. So it may be a tight 0-0 game, but it may not end that way. And thank you, Jonathan, and please support him at bluishmoonblog.wordpress.com, as he does a great job on previewing and reviewing the matches here. But your thoughts on Lexington, real quick here, our enemy, our frenemy of the day?
I know they spend a lot of money on those players, but that doesn't guarantee
results.
And remember, it's all new players. They still have to build that chemistry, and right now it's not. I mean, except for playing a bunch of scrubs in that cup game, they haven't really shown it. And then I know they got a win over Brooklyn, but Brooklyn's, like I said, a brand new franchise, so they're kind of growing the same growing pains, as far as a new roster. This is, like I said, this is their first test. They're on the road. They're going to come to a hostile environment, and you're playing a team that's actually has chemistry, and we've added the right pieces. And like I said, and I think we can. Just getting a lead early on, will help us out. Kind of build from there. Like I said, if you saw that game against when they played Louisville, that Louisville kind of flexed some muscle on them. So I think, like I said, it's going to be a great one. Back and forth. I think we split last year, and I think we ruined their party last year at their place. So like I said, hopefully
both road teams won.
Yeah. So hopefully we can we'll get the home win, and it's a key game, especially kind of the standings, and even towards the later of the year for the tiebreaker.
Royce?
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. They've really reloaded heavily. Ironically, Lexington is east of Louisville. Mm-hmm. Think about that. That's a fun fact.
East of Birmingham too.
What are we doing? But no, Lexington, they definitely have a bunch of former SAFC players, like you say, Kendall Burks, Marcus Epps. And they're a very dangerous team. They're not one to take lightly, not one to underestimate. that Louisville match, I don't know if you watched it. It was back and forth the whole time. That was a pretty wild one. Um, I wouldn't expect any less from this one. So it should be an exciting one. It's a day match, so we'll see if there's a difference in play because of that. It is a day match.
It is
We'll
on the
see.
Golazo network as well, so it is not on
Hmm.
ESPN
Hmm.
Plus for that here. So just be careful if you are not making it out to Toyota Field, but it is on CBS Sports Golazo Network, which can
Yep.
be watched pretty much anywhere. It's a free
Yeah.
over the
You
air.
find it on you find it on Fubo or not Fubo. Oh my God, what's the one? It's Tubi.
Tubi.
It's not Tubi. Is it Tubi? It's Oh, what's the yellow one? What's the free yellow one? What am I thinking of? Oh my God, I just went blank. Paramount Plus. You can find it on there. The Paramount
Pluto.
Network. Pluto. Thank you. Good Lord. Oh my God. It's early, folks. It's early, and it's been a while. We are not in mid-season form. We're trying to get it together like Lexington right now. A lot of trying to get the cobwebs out. Pluto TV, Tubi, Paramount Plus. You can find the game for free streaming somewhere. So um, should be a good one. Again, Lexington is a dangerous team. They have a lot of dangerous pieces. So SAFC kind of needs to bring it, but we'll see how their form continues. It'll be should be a good one. Should be a good one for the crowd that ends up going there today. Harry, you got anything else?
So I've got two things here, and I know we haven't touched base on it. Uh, USL HQ still needs to play the players.
Yep.
I am shocked that the players have not striked. I'd be kind of interesting to know kind of why. Um, because the closer you get to the World Cup, and this may be where I'm wrong in thinking here, is the less likely they're going to strike, just because why would you miss that attention? But maybe that's what they're looking for. But to me, that's the big cloud that's hanging over this league. It's part of the reason why my engagement with the league is down. Is I'm not going to their stories. I'm not trying to promote the USL as much until they start to take care of the players.
Yep.
Um, with just and I know it's a negotiation, but some of the stuff that the players are asking for, if you're wanting to go D1 and if you're wanting to be one of the top D2 leagues in the world, which we know USL wants to, through this, and I'm going to say this: I don't put this on the team. I put this on the Papadakis, the USL HQ
Yeah.
owners, who like to collect the expansion fees, but not necessarily return it back into the league. In my opinion,
Reinvest it. Reinvest it into the league to increase the value of the product. Yeah, I completely agree. And um, the thing that's separating the players association from the league is a very basic thing of year-round health insurance. That should be a league thing. When you join the league, you should pay your employees, at least cover your employees. You don't have to cover the families. That would be great, like most employers do. But you should cover your employees' health insurance, especially if the job has directly to do with their health and puts their health on the line. Like that's a basic thing. And like you said, from what we understand, from what's been reported by much more professional reporters than we are, USL is sitting on $300 million of expansion fees. Plus, they just got a huge injection of cash from a private equity firm that invested in the league. Why isn't any of that being used to give your employees, the players, health insurance? That should be a basic thing. And mind you, let's not go into politics. We know health insurance is skyrocketing, but this has been an issue since USL, was it 2.0 now or 3.0 that we're in? It's been an issue since the the league kind of reimagined itself. So yeah, I don't think anything the players are asking for, looking at the demands from the Players Association they've been posting, I don't think any of that's crazy. It's shouldn't be a bridge too far, especially for, like you said, a league that wants to be Division 1 and wants to be world class. You got to have, in order to have a league that's world class, you got to treat your players and employees like they're first class, worthy players and employees, and they need first class benefits. Like that should be, in order to get first class players to play for your first class league, you need to offer them first class benefits. That's kind of seems like an obvious thing. And USL, the league needs to step up. They really do. So, absolutely. Rafi, you have anything on that?
Yeah, I think. I mean, if you're gonna be a top, class league, you gotta take care of your players. I mean, you see the other leagues like the NFL, NBA, they're collective, they're taking care of their players and so forth. You got to do the same thing too. You just can't just be greedy and take all that money and just keep it for yourself. You have to reinvest it. If you really want the league to grow, you have to reinvest it back. First thing is taking care of your players, because those are the ones who play the games for you. If you don't have them, you're not going to have quality soccer on the field to watch. So hopefully this thing gets resolved pretty soon.
And then my final comment here, because I know Royce has got to get out soon. If we can kind of help support a fellow podcaster, SAFC with LHDZ, who does podcasts and Twitter Spaces, both in Spanish and English. For that here, I know he's only got 50 followers according to his Twitter, and he does have, looks like, Instagram as well. But at 210_LHDZ, but Lance is killing it with his stuff here. So shout out to Lance, like I said here, who's picked up the ball from us. Young guy that also sets on 114, a little further up with him and his wife here. But congrats to Lance, and like I said here, if you can, please support him both on his English and Spanish shows there, because especially the Spanish, that's something that not a lot of people are doing within the SAFC organization, but I don't want to get on that
Correct.
soapbox again.
Yep. And shout out to our friends at Puro SAFC. If you're also looking for another weekly podcast that covers the team, look them up, Puro SAFC. Shout out Matthew. Shout out Clayton. We're all friends and really supporting each other in our work and our passion for the team. So, the more the merrier, and we love to listen to y'all, and we really enjoy the content, especially when our schedules are as congested as they are. It's been kind of tough for us, but luckily we got a little time this morning to get up early, get a coffee, and record a pod for y'all. So hopefully it's enjoyable. Excuse me for the audio. I'm using directly in the headphones because my microphone decided not to work this morning, and we've kind of had some technical difficulties. So trying to work through it, trying to get back in the groove of things. Hopefully Harry and I can get on the early morning track to get some pods out. We've been trying to do evening shows, and it ain't happening. So I think we're gonna have to look for early morning previews and reviews. So we'll see how our schedules are going forward, and hopefully we can commit to that and be successful in there.
Rafa?
Just like I said, just looking forward to today's game. So if you haven't bought your ticket, buy your ticket. Let's pack the stadium. The guys need the support to get us the 3 points. And then we are hosting a tailgate from 11 to about 2:30. So get there. We are giving free hot dogs for the kids because it is kids day there at SAFC. I think we're going to give sausage wraps. We'll have some daddy sodas for the adults, and I think we're gonna get some Cokes, so regular sodas and water for the kids. So make sure you're out there, and it should be a fun time.
And I think Matt's bringing the milk and what was it?
Milk and Jaeger, just a disgusting. Just what are we doing? Oh my god! Oh, Matthew. I got nothing beyond that, dude. So you shot the wheels off on that one. Go ahead, Harry. Good lord.
All right, so thank you for everybody. I'll get this out a little bit later this morning. Thank you for tuning in. Sorry it's been since February, probably since our
I
last
think
show,
so.
maybe.
Late February.
I think it was
For the second half of the roster that got built and through no
yeah.
previews. But like I said here, just they say when kids are young, that's the busy time. No, it's when they're juniors and seniors and going all over town and having all over events and just that's to me when it's been super crazy. And I know Royce went through this with his oldest daughter for that here. So,
Yeah.
but thank you for everybody for tuning in. Thank you, Matt. Thank you, Steve. And like I said here, thank you to all the listeners and followers. What's life without goals? We are out.